building up Texas. Texas hasn't done anything since 2009. Why are you continuing to say that they're going to be good this year? Because they were. On paper, Texas going into last year was great. Now it's about allowing it to come to fruition. Miami on paper is great. Now it's just about can they take the next step as a program and not beat themselves.
The Miami Hurricanes and the Florida Gators will face off against each other for their season opener down in the Swamp in just 17 days. It's 89 degrees at 2 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Attention.
They are not ready for prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time. That's the name.
Prime time.
Prime time. What time is it? Showtime. Prime time.
It's XL Primetime. Featuring Joe C.
Why in the world am I sitting back and being quiet about this?
Matt Hayes.
Oh, my God. This is ridiculous.
And Leon Searcy.
If you can't hang with the big dogs, stay on the porch.
How you like me now?
We have the big dogs on display today out at Jaguars training camp, out at the Mecca, that's for sure. And it wasn't just Jags, it was Buccaneers as well. And you have been listening to a bunch of training camp coverage right here on the Superstation. So we welcome you into XL Primetime, and we will keep it rolling. That's for sure on a golf club of Southampton Wednesday. We were all out there taking it in. And it took a while for this practice to get going. But once it did, there was action on 2 of the 3 football fields, with one offense going up against the other defense and then the opposite on the other side. So the fans up in the stands, they were treated to a bird's eye view of some big time plays. So let's get it going, fellas. We're going to do a good, bad, ugly at some point here. But Leon, just start off with some positives. We're going to do some good, bad, ugly.
All right.
I guarantee
Because you know where he wants to go.
Of course, where I want to go. Now, what the good was, listen, Parker Washington had outstanding practice. Made some big plays. Tank Bigsby, he had another great day of practice. The tackles for the most part, the bookends.
Anton Harrison
and Cam Robertson had some good plays on one-on-ones, and when we had the red zone, that kind of stuff. Trevor was on point.
Yeah,
he was. He made. Listen, what was that play where we were sitting on the sideline? He threw that dime to Gabe Davis.
Yeah,
under pressure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was a beauty. So that's the positive.
All day.
Very accurate all day. So that's the positive. And listen, we won some, we lost some, and then we lost some bad. That's just my account of practice. We're getting to the details of it, but we're going to stay positive. I think that's good. More than likely, the ones probably won't play in the game on Saturday. They're going to get all their good work in today. And I think for the most part, with all the individual and the team period and the red zone period and the Skelly period and the special teams, I think for the most part, the team played well. There was some energy out there on both sides of it. And listen, Vita Veda, when I saw him walk out the building, I said to myself, there's no one that can block him right there. Right then and there. We saw it, didn't it? It's a huge.
We're literally just standing there.
It was literally
as they're
standing there walking out.
And Leon's like, well, there's a couple problems here.
Yeah, we got
He's
problems.
big and no one's blocking him. And number 2, he's Samoan. And you know how Leon feels about the Samoans, man.
I tell you what, they're hard to block. Let me just say that.
All right, so
I think when you look at that practice, it kind of falls in line with the rest of the camp for a lot of the players. I think Parker Washington's you can make an argument he's having the best camp of anybody. Mm-hmm. He's been phenomenal all camp. I've been saying all offseason I think he's going to have a big year, and it looks like he's ready to have a big year, a breakout year. He's one of those guys that, it didn't come to him in the first year. Now he looks like he's playing a lot more freely, a lot more loose. Looks like he understands the offense. He's tough. He's fast. He's a guy that can get open, can gain separation. He's gonna catch some significant throws from them this year. He will. I like the tackles. I really do, Leon. And Leon and I were talking about Anton Harrison. I think Anton Harrison's going to be he's their left tackle.
And the best news is he's been back all week after the going into concussion protocol. So he looks good.
Yeah, he's in fact, and Leon was saying, or Tommy McManus told me this in one of the individual drills. I was down watching the goal line 7-on-7. That Anton Harrison pulled the Searcy move. Used a punch to get a rush end off him. And he's like, he's growing, and it's impressive how he's playing right now. The two tackles, I should say. I have no problem with those guys. Okay, the problem is the interior.
Yeah, of course.
They got problems.
Which, by the way,
they have got problems on the interior.
The text line is already ready for you to exclusively talk about the interior offensive line for the next couple of hours. But it's not lost on other Jaguar fans that are taking it in out there that that's a little bit of a concern. And I'm of the thinking, and I asked Leon this during practice today, as I looked at it was Mitch Morse versus Vita Vea. And there were a couple times where I just looked at Leon, I'm like, was that a brother-in-law? Was that a brother-in-law play right there where one just said, look, I'm a vet, you're a vet. We don't need to go full here. At least that's what it kind of looked like to me a couple of times.
Well, yeah, a couple of times on the one-on-one. Well, listen, first of all, when you saw the one-on-ones against Vita Vea against Mitch Morse, it was a clear, he's totally overwhelming Mitch Morse on many occasions. And I'm just saying to myself, if this was a game speed situation,
right,
it would have been a couple of times that where either Vita Vea would have ran him over, flipped him with the shoulder, or bull rushed him.
Yeah.
And because it is a one-on-one drill, and you're not technically trying to go there and embarrass anybody,
right.
But if this thing was full speed in the game, Mitch Morris was going to have problems. And he was going to absolutely have problems. And you could have looked when you saw it in the red zone area, when they ran that TT stunt with the Vita Vea that came around the corner.
Right.
It was nightmarish when he came around that corner.
To be fair, Vita's going to give a lot of people. But we saw this first line in the first game of the season against the Chiefs, and it was no bueno without Chris Jones.
But the first thing I was going to say is that there's a reason why most offensive linemen have to double team a guy like that. One-on-ones, you're not generally successful against a big man like that with power. And so, yeah, they're going to have answers for the Veas, the Joneses of the world. There's no question about it. And I'm not like putting TLT on this and saying it's going to be okay. I'm just saying it's still going to be.
Yeah, but Joe, you know how you make those corrections? You make them right now.
Yeah.
Well, you make them right now. I mean, I don't want to make any excuses for them because, listen, this Tampa Bay team played them last year and they destroyed them. They destroyed them up front. We couldn't run the ball. We couldn't protect. I mean, that the proof is in the pudding from last year. So these essentially are the same guys that you're going up against practice. So if you're not making any progress in practice,
right?
I mean, what's to say you're going to be able to? Because listen, when they did red zone and they ran a TT stunt interiorly on the offense, the middle three, it was ugly.
Yeah,
Vita Vea just split the middle, and he had nobody there to stop. And the only thing that saved Trevor is that jersey he got on, that red jersey.
Yeah, that's true. Because Coach Campo was saying the same thing, and we'll hear from him later in the week. Is that in that little small space that he needs to operate from, he quickly got uncomfortable again because they were on him, and there were a few busted plays. It could have been red zone, could have been in team, any number of examples. But let me get to the defensive side here just for a second, because both defenses, I think, had success against the offenses at times. Like we said, Trevor is operating at a pretty high volume of success right now. But when in team, there are some protection problems. You can't get away from that. The running game does look like it's a little bit better than it was a year ago, that they are moving some people. There was a nice little zone play where they busted it right off of, I think it was Blake Hansen's behind. And so off of that left side of the line, which is what you want. And so those were good. But over to the defensive side, Tyson Campbell made himself a play against Mike Evans today. And we're talking really, really solid work. Christian Braswell, watching him in that nickel, and even Darnell Savage back in the safety spot. There were a lot of good plays being made from those guys on the defensive side.
Yeah, when I was watching the one-on-ones with the offensive line against their defensive line, Tommy Mack came over to me and said he was watching. And because I was telling Matt this before we even got to practice. I said I want to see Christian Worth and Josh Hines Allen, see what we're going to get. And listen, it was a heavyweight fight.
Yeah.
There was one time with Josh Hines Allen, obliterated Christian Worth, and then there was another time that Worth put them hands on him. And listen, when you're talking about two perennial All-Pros, that's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be back and forth. You get me, I get you. I get you. I mean, so that was entertaining because that drew me away from our offensive line. When and then I watched Trayvon Walker go up against Christian Worth, and Trayvon got smoked. I ain't gonna lie, he got handled. He got
swallowed.
He got handled. I mean, you talking about Christian Worth? You talking about a guy that they just made the highest paid offensive lineman in the NFL.
Yeah,
and he's a 3-time perennial All-Pro, and they moved him to the left tackle. He's solid.
And by the way,
he's big and he's athletic.
He stepped off the bus starting. in the National Football as the right tackle for that Tampa Bay that they had.
Well, here's the thing about Tristan Wirth. He's the type of guy that, he had to start off at right tackle, but when they moving him to the left, you could turn your head next 10 years, he there. If he stays healthy.
Yeah, that part's good. I just felt like there were definitely some wins on the defensive side against Baker Mayfield. And it's so funny. I still look at Baker, and I don't look at him and say that guy can do that job at a high level, but he still can make some throws.
Does it. He's been told that all his life.
I know.
Man.
It's true. It's
bro,
true.
Remember this in the playoff game against Detroit, bro. They were toe to toe with them. Yep. I mean, they were a possession away from being in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And everybody was all gung ho about Detroit and this and that. Buccaneers hung with them the whole game.
So let me ask you this then, from a player standpoint.
Honolulu blue over there.
You do. From a player standpoint.
Yeah.
Where we saw this club at the end of last season when the Bucs just embarrassed them a couple days before Christmas, to where they are now, do you see a distinctive change between the Jags of then and the Jags of now?
I see a point of emphasis in being a lot more physical, not even if it's not as much. So what I mean by that is that the emphasis all during OTAs and minicamp and training camp is that we're going to be a lot more physical up front. We're going to be the things that they struggle with, attention to detail in the red zone, in the short yardage, goal line, all that kind of stuff. But now, this close to the season, with all the attention made to it, I mean, I got to see some elevation. I got to see this team moving forward. I got to see this team being a little bit more physical up front, especially interiorly where we struggle with that. That's my only thing. And then when it looks good against us, and then when we get against opponents and it doesn't shine, that's when it concerns me. Mm-hmm. Because even that KC game, you watch that KC game in the preseason, right? We had our ones out there, sort of say. We were missing Anton and we were missing Ezra Cleveland. And, we still couldn't run the ball interiorly. And, we couldn't run the ball. And then people say, well, we didn't have our starting offensive line. I said, well, no, we didn't have Chris Jones. Chris Jones wasn't out there. Without him, we still couldn't run the ball. So I'm just saying, with all the emphasis on the short yardage and goal line, getting after people, somehow it's got to translate to on the football field when it really counts.
Yeah, there's no getting away from it. All right, if you were out there, hit us on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Jump on YouTube. You can find the stream, 641-1010. You can throw a question our way, comment, and then obviously get in the MyBookie Digital Studios and let us know what you're thinking about there. Someone's celebrating a birthday. Tim Tebow is turning 37 years old, and he's going to celebrate right here on XL Primetime with us. We'll find out what he is up to, what he thinks about the Gators, all that ahead. Thanks to the Golf Club of Southampton on a beautiful, warm Wednesday. You can call 287-PLAY. Plan on being out at the 9 after 5 later on. As soon as you knock off work, there's nothing better than breaking up the work week with a little hump day golf at the Golf Club of Southampton.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. 1010XL takes you behind the microphone.
You hate me, don't you? No, I don't hate you.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser.
He hates me.
Mornings on 1010XL.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes, and summer's in full swing, and air conditioners are fully stressed. But do what I did and call the good folks at Fenwick Home Services to stay cool and comfortable all season long. Need a new AC? Fenwick has same-day estimates and next-day installations on energy-efficient systems. And your new system is backed by a warranty of up to 12 years. That's right, 12 years. Fenwick also offers same-day 24/7 service day or night, and their expert technicians will get the job done and get it done right the first time. Book online now at FenwickHomeservices.com.
Jags fans, a new Everbank Performance account could be your ticket to London this October. Through the Everbank London Getaway, one lucky winner and a guest will receive round-trip airfare, hotel accommodations, and a pair of tickets to see the Jags play in London. To learn more and for official rules, visit everbank.com/London. No person necessary to enter or win. Open legal residence in 50 United States and D.C. 18 or older. Entry period for the Everbank London Getaway Suites is from 8/5/24 to 9/5/24. To enter and for official rules, alternate method of entry, prize description, odds of winning, and other details, visit everbank.com/London. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank N.A.
Lauren here to tell you about Mayport CNC Fisheries preseason football special. $5 off any 100-count bag or 30-pound box of oysters, all preseason long. Bring football season back like a local with Mayport CNC Fisheries in Atlantic Beach.
Looking to elevate your game night experience? Look no further than Best Bet. We're not just a card room, we're your destination for excitement, fun, and big wins. Whether you're a seasoned player or new to the game, we have something for everyone. Join us at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, or St. Augustine for thrilling tournaments, exciting promotions, and a vibrant atmosphere that will take your game night to the next level. Elevate your game night at Best Bet. Visit bestbetjacks.com to learn more. That's bestbetjacks.com.
The Money Pages brings you this week's Red Zone featured player of the week. Number 32, Jaguars cornerback Tyson Campbell. Campbell played college ball for Georgia and was taken by the Jags in the second round of the 2021 draft. Pick up this week's Jags game program with a commemorative ticket of Tyson Campbell. Download the Money Pages app for weekly specials. Money Pages, official sponsor of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
It's the blog players put their pads on for.
So we want it, we got to bring it. My thoughts and observations on our home team. That's what I share with you every week on my blog.
Roland Reach Plumbing brings you Hayes Blog on 1010XL.com.
Hey, it's Mike Dempsey, and you know how I feel about Pella Windows and Doors. Great design, strongest warranties, and the highest quality product. I even chose Pella Windows for my own home. And whether you're a homeowner replacing windows or building a new home or a trade professional working with clients, I know the design experts at Pella will help your project run smoothly and look great. Visit PellaJacks.com or the Pella showroom on Phillips Highway at Pella Windows and Doors.
This is Mark Nato. My sons and I have seen the doctors and PAs at Southeast Ortho for everything from lumbar spine stress to elbow tendonitis. Southeast has always been there, been truthful, and always been on point. Everything they say happens. We can't thank them enough for what they've done and the great care that they have taken of our sons.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Well, all the news forecasts say that home prices are expected to decline in 2025. Hey, that's great if you're buying a home. But if you're selling one, you might want to get to it. And when it comes to selling your home, the agents you should trust are Chad and Sandy Newman at chadandsandy.com. Maybe you want maximum equity from your home, but you're not sure how. And you don't want to worry about costly repairs or upgrades needed to sell your home. Those things are all out with Chad and Sandy. They're the local real estate experts you can trust, and I recommend for the sale of your home, or for the sale of mine for that matter. Maybe I should look into it. Hey, don't trust me. Trust Jacqueline from Biscayne Estates. My inherited home became a nightmare when it went unsold for 177 days and ended up with a large lien. With expenses mounting for my handicapped daughter and no way to pay, I was desperate. At this point, I turned to Chad and Sandy. The change was amazing. Chad and Sandy sold my home in 3 days at a higher than asking price. Find out for yourself at chadandsandy.com or 904-414-6200.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards concert tickets for your daughter to see that singer who sings about painful breakups. And one song will inspire your little beauty to break up with that beast she's dating, Brian. Instead, she'll date someone who's nice and worthy of her love, not someone who addresses you and your spouse as bro. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Hello, I'm Malcolm Anthony. I've been practicing criminal defense law for over 40 years. It's what I love to do, it's what I do well. Stay out of trouble, but if you don't, call me, Malcolm Anthony, at 2854-LAW. 2854-LAW for Malcolm Anthony.
Navy Mutual was created by service members for service members, so we know what it means to serve. Our policies have no active duty service restrictions, so you can rest assured that you're covered no matter your duty station, home or abroad. To go even further, we promise that premiums will not be higher for those who serve in dangerous environments, including aviation, diving, or on deployments. Let us help you protect those you love the most. Learn more at NavyMutual.org.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
But whenever you get a guy that has some hardware, national championships, Heisman Trophy, pieces of hardware up in his mantle. It's always great to talk to him, but it's even better when you get to say hey to Tim Tebow on his birthday, and he's on XL Primetime. Timmy, how are you?
I'm doing so good. Josie, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, man. Listen, I don't even want to put age on you or anything like that, but can XL Primetime just go ahead and wish you happy birthday properly? Is that okay?
Sure, that's fine.
All right, in 3, 2, 1.
Happy birthday to you. Give the baritone.
Come on, Leon. Leon, the Miami Hurricane Hall of Famer. Come on.
I'm going to lose my cane card, but
Come on,
I'm going to sing it.
Happy birthday, dear Timmy. Happy birthday to you.
He's leading the orchestra.
I led the orchestra.
Congrats, Timmy.
That means a lot, especially from a hurricane. That's humbling right there.
Timmy,
I like it.
Timmy, I told him I was going to lose my cane card if I sang the happy birthday to you. But happy
you
birthday.
you were way too good to ever lose that. So anybody that says that, just tell them to go watch the film, okay?
Okay, well, happy birthday to you, Tim.
Thank you so much. How are y'all doing?
We're doing great. I think we should start off, though, with Miami and Florida and how great it will be for either side, Timmy, to come out on top. So let's at least spend a minute here on Miami v. Florida because, we've been trading it back and forth with Searcy having fun, but you know how big this game is for both Billy Napier and for Mario Cristobal.
Yeah, it's huge. And you know what? We say that a lot. Every year we hype up games. I don't feel like you need to do any hyperbole with this game. It is massive for the trajectory of both programs. I really believe that. With a win in the Swamp in this game, both teams have a chance to have a completely different season. The ACC is very open, and with Cam Ward and the talent that Miami has, if they can get a big win in the Swamp, that could totally catapult them into a special season. And vice versa with Florida. If they get a big win and then 2 weeks later against A&M again at home, if they could win, that could give that team the belief. Both of these teams have a lot of pieces. Now it's about putting all those pieces together, playing as a unit, having their star players, play to the level that they're capable of. And I'm really excited about this quarterback matchup with Cam versus Graham. I mean, both of them are very talented, have excelled in a bunch of different areas. And now we're going to get to see, both of them go head-to-head in the Swamp in an amazing environment. I mean, let's be honest. This game hasn't, Florida versus Miami, it probably hasn't meant as much as it does this year since maybe when we played them in 2008.
Hey, Timmy, I was going to ask you that. I was going to say, do these kids need a history lesson? Do they understand the magnitude of Miami and Florida? Because I understand what it was when I played back in the day. So I just hope they understand and can appreciate what this rivalry is really all about.
I hope they do. I really do. I hope they understand the intensity of it. I hope they understand the magnitude of it. I only got to play in this game one time, and man, did I love it. Did I cherish every minute of it. I remember I was so exhausted before pregame even ended because I couldn't wait for the game to show up, and it was a night game, awesome environment, and I got to watch so many times growing up, whether that was Florida had a big lead and Miami came back, or vice versa, and so many amazing games. And I hope they just, because one of the best parts about college football is the meaning, the pageantry, the passion, and the rivalries. And hopefully this game on, I think it's the 31st, has all four of those.
So, Tim, talking with the guys in Gainesville, the coaches, the players, sense a kind of a little momentum, a little more emotion the last couple of months. Are you feeling that? Do you see that possibly playing out?
Yeah, I think all of those things are true. I think one word that I kind of would see is I feel like they're gaining a confidence, a little bit of a quiet confidence, and sometimes it might be just in that locker room with some guys, but you listen to the way they talk, and it's almost like you're trying to rally a little bit of this, us against the world type mentality, and we need things, mental approaches, and if that's one that they want to take, I encourage it, and I feel like that's something that's growing and brewing there. But I feel like where that has to take the next step is week one, when you actually do it on a field against a good team in Miami.
We're talking with Tim Tebow celebrating his 37th birthday. We'll get back to Miami and Florida before we're done. You will be busy, I'm sure, SEC Nation, SEC Network, everything that's coming up. But on your 37th birthday, and I love this, Tim, because you have been so selfless and have done so much for so many others, and you've taken on a big cause, you and your wife. Demi, tell people what they can do today to celebrate your 37th birthday.
Well, we're in our birthday campaign is the Unknown and Unfinished campaign, and it's for all of the boys and girls that law enforcement can see in abuse videos around the world, but yet they haven't been able to identify them or rescue them. And we know just in this last year alone that there have been over 500,000 unique IP addresses that have downloaded child rape or abuse material of kids under the age of 12. We also know that 55 to 85% of them are hands-on offenders, and your average offender has 13 victims. And so that means when you look at those numbers that there's hundreds of thousands of boys and girls that are suffering at the hands of their offenders. And we just have to do everything we can to protect them, to bring faith, hope, and love, to bring safety to them in their darkest hour of need. And so that's a massive focus for us here for our birthday campaign, but even more so than that, just in life.
And they can go to Tim Tebow Foundation. What's the easiest way for them to do this?
Just go to timtebowfoundation.org and check it out. And, it's not about us. It's about all the lives that we get to serve. And if, we really just believe that we can move the needle when enough of us wrap arms around the same team, that, something like this, there shouldn't be different teams. It should just be one team. And that's the team that wants to stand up for people to protect kids and try to do the right thing, which that's what we believe is loving every single person, especially in their darkest hour of need.
And I tell you, just anyone who does research, you will find out just how impactful you and the foundation have been. And we're talking all corners of this earth that you guys have been able to go to and help when you find out someone or something needs to be done.
Well, we're doing whatever we can. We're fortunate that we're so blessed to be able to serve in just over 90 countries around the world. But that also means right here in our backyard, right here in Jacksonville, a city that we love so much, whether that's with safe homes or special needs care or fighting against trafficking or with the incredible Intercept task forces, just doing whatever, wherever we can. Because, there are a lot of people that have the goal to do harm, but what's encouraging? There's a lot of people that are willing to stand up against it, and we're so grateful for all of them.
Yeah, such important work. Thanks so much, Tim. Let's real quick get back to football real quick, and I want to ask you about this Gator team one more thing. And I know you when you played, you guys may not have thought of this, or maybe you did hear it. Joe is very partial to this, actually. Mm-hmm. The Gators in their win line, Tim, 4.5 is the over right now for Florida wins this season. Do you think players know that? Do you think they've heard that?
Yes. Yeah, I think especially with social media and how much just, this digital age of how much is, people are consuming, I think they hear stuff like that. Now the question is, what does that do? Does it spur them on to be a little ticked and say, all right, watch what we're going to do? Or do they hear it and do they let that creep into their head and say, maybe we're not as good as we hope we can? And so I hope it's the first, but it's going to be really interesting to see this year. I think when people look at Florida's team, that's not a team without talent. Like, I know there's some pieces they're still trying to get, but it's a team still with a lot of talent. It's a team that at the right time and place, you saw what they could be last year at moments. Now it's about how can you put it together for 60 minutes? How can you put it together at home or on the road? Like, I mean, you look at spurts last year, even a little bit against Georgia. You look at the way they played against Missouri, who was a top 10 team that beat Ohio State. You look at moments you could say, wow, I could see what this team could be. And especially with Graham being such a veteran, this is really a moment for him to lead and take over and show what he can do. And, the schedule is just brutal. It's one of the hardest schedules I feel like I've probably ever seen. And, but if Florida can find a way to get a little momentum early, they can take a brutal schedule and maybe gain some momentum, and who knows what can happen down the stretch.
Tebow, I want to segue off that schedule because you and I both played for Hall of Fame coaches, and I know my mentality was at Miami that we looked at the schedule. We didn't say that we had to play that team. We said that team got to play us. Yep. I'm sure you when you was an Urban Mind those days, when you looked at the schedule, we weren't bothered by the schedule because you knew those teams had to play you, other than vice versa.
Yeah, absolutely. I even remember multiple times me and some of the other players, like me and Spikes and some of the guys, going over to Urban in the off season and saying, hey, would you mind, trying to ask and seeing if we could play USC, on a neutral site, or if they would come here, we could go there. We would ask about trying to play Notre Dame or these things. And, we wanted that. Like, we wanted to have those chances. And, now you see so many SEC teams, especially that, week 0, week 1, week 2, week 3, you got, all of these games, the Michigans and the Texases, and you got LSU's, USC, the Florida, Miami. I think it's great for college football, and I do think they should have the mentality that you did, that, that as an athlete, you've got to be confident. You've got to believe in yourself. You've got to believe in your teammates, because if you don't, nobody else will. And so you've got to have that mentality if you want to be successful, that, no, we don't have to play them. They got to get prepared to play us, and they got to do it for 60 minutes. And that's a mentality I think that most really good teams eventually they get to.
Billy's already brought Billy in to talk to his team. Me thinks maybe Timmy needs to go in there and talk to that team too, and get them fired up. All right, one more about Florida. Before I need to tell people what's going on with your beautiful wife as well this weekend. But one more, and I've been talking about this, Timmy, and I know you got to feel kind of the same way. DJ Lagway represents something special. Top recruit, big kid, multifaceted, can do a lot of different things for a team. I could just see Billy trying to create some packages for him, a la Leak/Tebow back in 06.
Absolutely. And first I want to say that's not a knock to Graham. I think Graham is a excellent quarterback. It's just that DJ also offers something that's different and unique. In today's football, I really think it's important to give defenses as much to stress about as possible. And DJ adds an element to do that he will make, if used the right way, he will make D coordinators lose sleep. And that's awesome. And I think if you use him, but it's not just how you use him, it's the threat of how you use him. So that defenses have to prepare, and then when they spend more time preparing for him to come in the game, that's less time preparing for Graham and the third down package and Trey and deep shots and all the other things. You can only prepare for so many things, and so I think he adds that element. I also think he adds an element of physicality to this offense, which is good. I think he adds an element of this young, confident, believing in yourself. I think that's another great thing. On top of that, he's got silly talent. And I think all of those are really good pieces that just complement this offense and complement Graham. It doesn't take away from him, but at the right times and places, I do think that he can add to this offense.
100%. I think Gator fans definitely should be looking forward to that. They should also look forward to meeting your beautiful wife, Demi Lee Tebow. She has the book out, A Crown That Lasts. And I did see the piece when she was on the morning show a couple days ago, and she will be at Books A Million in Marsh Landing, Jack's Beach, on Saturday at 1 p.m. Are you running security for that?
Oh, absolutely. And guess what? I'm so proud of her. This book is amazing. She's worked so hard on it. I can't wait to celebrate with her there and all the people that are going to show up. And I just know it's going to make an impact and encourage so many people. And I tell you, when I got to read it along the way, there was a lot of laughs, a lot of tears, but I just know it's going to encourage a lot of people and truly their purpose and their identity. And I just couldn't be more proud.
Yeah, she tells some real powerful stories. You can see Demi Lee Tebow at Books A Million, 738 Marsh Landing on Saturday. You can go and Google and get all the details, but you can find the book, A Crown That Lasts, on the Books A Million website or many others. Listen, Timmy, always great catching up. Hope to see you soon, and I'm sure we are all looking forward to AUG 31 to see how that thing goes.
No doubt. I look forward to, at the latest, hopefully seeing y'all in Gainesville. I know SEC Nation, we're going to be there for the game, and that's going to be so much fun. So hopefully we'll see you there, and it's going to be crazy. Let's do it.
Yeah, exactly. Let's do it. All right. Good talking to you. Good catching up, and happy birthday.
Appreciate you guys. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you, man. All right. So you can go to timtebowfoundation.org. You can find out everything that you need to know about what they are doing and how much you can help. And as he said, just $37, make a donation in honor of his 37th birthday, which is cool.
Pretty cool.
So let's cover the Miami, Florida thought that he has, DJ Lagway, all that coming up on XL Primetime.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010 XL.
For a chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets to the Coke Zero Sugar 400 August 24th at Daytona, answer this question. Who won last year's Coke Zero Sugar 400? Text the driver's last name to 641-1010.
Mia here. Get it all when you shop Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Just listen to this. Over 275 SUVs, over 200 cars, over 100 pickups, over 50 luxury vehicles. That's over 600 vehicles, and they're all in one location. Arlington Pre-Owned even has 125 vehicles under $18,000. Plus, you get Arlington's 60-day exchange program and financing help from their Credit for Everyone program. Shop online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com.
Injured in an accident? Have mounting medical bills? Can't work? Don't worry. Zach's got your back. I'm Zach Von Rowan of Von Rowan Law. I will fight for the compensation that you deserve. Set up your free consultation at zachsgotyourback.com.
Hey sports fans, this is Hayes Carline from MyBookie. Are you ready for the ultimate college football season? Using MyBookie's sportsbook and casino platform, you can bet on every game and win anytime, anywhere, straight from your mobile device. No app needed. Just sign up at MyBookie.com and you're ready to rock. No matter who you're rooting for, there's no better way to experience the season than having action on the games. When you know your team well, it's an easy way to take advantage of props like team win totals or early picks for playoff contention. Last year, MyBookie had some of the best odds on the market for the Wolverines to win the championship, and Michigan bettors who backed their squad saw a 10% return on their wager. These type of bets highlight why it's worth it to lay an investment before the season begins. Lock your futures in now while you're waiting for the season to begin and use promo code 1010XL to claim a bonus up to $1,000 on that first deposit. That's promo code 1010XL to start the season with house money. Don't ever miss out on the action. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. Only with MyBookie.
Hey, it's Joe C. My friends at CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living can elevate your grilling experience with a durable high-end grill from great brands like Coyote, DCS, Alfresco, and American Made, and make an outdoor kitchen custom built to your taste and lifestyle. Visit their local showroom and see all the new displays at CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
You dream it, we build it. CSS.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On August 14, 2016, Jamaican sprint star Usain Bolt wins a 100-meter gold medal at the Rio Olympics, becoming the first man to win the event 3 times.
Mortgage rates have plummeted, and Loan Pronto clients are locking in the lowest rates we've seen in years. Hey, it's Roger Moore, founder and CEO of Loan Pronto. It's happening. We are finally locking APRs in the 5s, something we haven't seen for a long time. If that sky-high rate is killing you or you need to get cash out of your home equity, now is the time to take action. Or listen, even if you want to keep that first mortgage rate intact, you can take advantage of lower rates with our Equity Express line of credit. We're seeing homeowners take 50, 75, 200 grand or more out of their equity and wiping out that high-interest debt with an average savings of $850 per month. Bottom line, your home value is way up and mortgage rates have come way down, making this a great time to act. Call today for a 30-second rate quote. Do it now, and you can even skip your next 2 mortgage payments. 904-999-1508. 904-999-1508. LoanPronto.com. 904-999-1508.
Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval. NMLS ConsumerAccess.org.
You hear that? That's the sound of your water bill tripling. Are you ready to fix the drip? Call Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing and Septic Services. They do it all. DuckDuckRooter.com.
You're shrimping the bed.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball presented by FIS is home all week at 1-to-1 Financial Ballpark. Tonight is ViStar Good as Everywhere Wednesday featuring the Furic Foundation. Tomorrow is Coors Light Thirsty Thursday with beer specials. Then we've got a doubleheader on Red Shirt Friday with fireworks presented by Boeing. The week closes out with Baptist Health Sunday Family Fun Day. Tickets start at just $5. JackShrimp.com for tickets.
Have you tried golfing at the improved Cimarron Golf Club? If you haven't, tell you what, you're missing out on the best deal in Jacksonville. Now, many of you have received a postcard in the mail, and of course, if you bring that with you, $45 plus tax to play. That includes a cart, lunch, and a beer at the brand new Stone Barrel Tap House. Now, go to the website, that is CimarronGolfClub.com, and sign up for the Wild One Loyalty Program. That's the Wild One Loyalty Program, and get all of these specials emailed to you from Cimarron.
This is Hayes Carlion for Skylife Elite. Have you ever thought about aircraft ownership as another potential revenue stream and as a tool for tax savings? Put your tax money to work for you while enjoying the benefits of private personal travel. Skylife Elite has over a decade of experience in business aviation and can guide you through the process with their expert staff. Call my friends over at Skylife Elite at 490-9332 or find them at flyskylife.com to get the rundown on everything owning an airplane can do for you.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Former first overall pick Trayvon Walker is expecting to turn it up a notch this year under first-year defensive coordinator Ryan Nielsen. Here's what Nielsen had to say about Walker's potential at Media Today.
I mean, he's out there early, every little thing, and I mean, he's trying to do it exactly right. He's a perfectionist, which you really like. And then, he goes out there and he does everything you ask him to do. You'll turn on the tape, he's like, wow, you didn't see that in practice, and you see it in the tape, and you're like, man, he made that play. And so there's that element to the player, too. Yeah, just being excited about him, just being around him every day.
This team's defense is counting on a big year from Walker as he's the other half of the lethal pass rush alongside Josh Hines-Allen. I'm Max Fink with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Barra & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
We got Dr. George Bahri rolling in here in just a second. Talk sports injuries, but real quick before we say hey to him, just a quick thought on Florida Miami. We button that up because we're going to get back to training camp. But you even heard Timmy's tone ramp up with intensity of just how important this game is for both sides.
Well, that's the reason why I asked Timmy. I said, do these kids understand the historical magnitude of these? We hate each other. Oh, no offense, Joe. Yeah. But we don't like each other a lot, and you want to bring back that. You want to bring back that intensity, and this game right now is essential for both. Whoever loses this game is going to be sitting on their rear end, and it's going to be burning.
Yeah.
For a minute.
Yeah. I don't disagree. I like what Tim said about DJ Lagway. Like it forces them to prepare for more than just one guy. It's a very good point. He obviously was part of that with Chris Leak in 2006. So yeah, I mean, I think there's certainly a way to look at it like that. I still think Mertz is going to be they're winning and losing with him because I think they can win because of him, not with him.
Yeah.
Whereas with Lagway, I think they're going to win with him.
Yeah, they're
not going to win because of him.
But one thing's for certain, he said no slight to Graham. This isn't taking necessarily or diminishing his role, or it's just saying let's take this added weapon,
right?
And that's why I firmly believe DJ Lagway is going to be a bigger part of this than we realize. So we'll keep going on that. You guys hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures with thoughts on that. But let's say hello to our man.
Our next guest is not affiliated with the NFL or Jacksonville Jaguars.
Discussion of injuries is solely based on opinion.
Now, the Bahri Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Injury Breakdown.
I'm coming in hot.
We welcome our man Gio into the house, Dr. George Bahri, as he comes in from Bahri Orthopedics, all scrubbed up and ready to talk some sports injuries. Gio, how you doing, man?
What's up, man?
We are fired up. We have one game of preseason ball in the bank, another one coming up on Saturday night, so we've been talking a lot of Jaguar ball, and I know you will be in the stands, fired up and ready to go.
Yep.
And you know what? You're helping make some decisions on where this 53-man roster is going to stack up.
One way or the other, right?
Yeah, based on boos and cheers and everything like that. So we'll see. All right, listen, if you guys have a sports injury question, 641-1010, you guys can jump in, throw a question our way. I've got one or two left over from last week that I want to bring up. But last Saturday night, Hollywood Brown, we're talking the Chiefs just barely got on the football field, just barely got out there. Mahomes throws a pass to him. I believe it was Monteric Brown that took him down. Bottom line is he has a sternoclavicular joint
dislocation.
Yeah.
Well, is his real name Hollywood?
Well, Marquise.
No, it's Marquise.
Oh, I was like, that's pretty cool.
His nickname was Hollywood, but actually when he was growing up, his nickname was Jet because he was faster than everybody else.
Yeah. But I get the feeling like he would like to be a little more Hollywood because it hasn't quite panned out the way he was hoping.
Well, a sternoclavicular joint dislocation. So if you look at your neck, and your sternum is the middle part, that your chest plate, as some people call it. Anyways, if you follow your clavicles and you go down to the middle, if it hits your sternum, that's your SC joint, sternoclavicular joint. You have one on each side, okay? Now, a dislocation is not very common. You see a couple in your office. You can dislocate from trauma, which is what he had, and you can have atraumatic dislocation. Usually that presents someone comes into the office, hey, I noticed this bumper on my sternoclavicular joint. It hurts. I just noticed it. Nothing happened. And they have atraumatic dislocation. Usually anterior dislocations, as long as they don't hurt you, there's nothing to do. You can leave it alone. If it's atraumatic, that means nothing happened. We really don't know how long ago it's happened, right? It could have happened a while ago, but now it's just bothering you.
Right.
So you don't really try to mess with it. A true traumatic dislocation, you could try to reduce it. You could try to push on it. There's some maneuvers you can do with your shoulder to try to pop it back into place, which sounds like what he had done.
Because right now, no surgery planned.
Right. They popped it back in the hospital, they said.
Yeah.
Now, posterior dislocation of the sternoclavicular joint is a little bit more worrisome because you have all the important vital structures behind your sternum.
Okay.
Right? And so when it's posterior, it can impinge on those structures. And at that point, you really have to look at it and reduce it, and usually it requires a surgery to pop it back in, and you need to have cardiothoracic surgery there in case bad things happen because you're not in a good spot. I will tell you, I've only seen one SC joint dislocation that we fixed with surgery. That was one time in residency, and it's rare. Right? It's not like super common that you're doing the surgery.
Okay, so then this will kind of dovetail into that. So when you're talking about the SC joint, let's move a little bit further, and they're close. They're probably cousins. I'm sure you'll say they're cousins. The collarbone, this is what I've heard over and over from people. Like when you break your collarbone, the problem is every move you make involves your collarbone. And
Correct.
There's pain everywhere.
Correct.
So is it that way with the SC joint as well?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah, it'll
so
be the same. I mean, every breath you take, your rib cage is expanding.
Like if you move your head, he's going to feel it, right?
Yes.
All right, so he's in some pain then.
It's going to hurt, right? It's going to hurt. I don't know if they gave a timeline of when they think he's going to be back. I'm not quite sure, but it's painful. It hurts, right? I mean, especially it's acute right now. Right, it just happened. A chronic one may only hurt doing certain things, but an acute one is going to hurt with every motion that you do because it just happened.
Like every motion, like reaching for a cup.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to hurt, right?
It's just all in that pain right there. All right, so let's get to one that kind of came as a little bit of a surprise yesterday. J.J. McCarthy, he is Minnesota Vikings perceived starter to begin the NFL year. Anyway, he looked pretty good the other day. Matt's all in love with him. He's got quarterback love for him. And so it comes
more
out.
than the Cincinnati guys?
These guys are ridiculous.
I know he's
they literally just throw guys on me because I think the guy's going to be a good player. They say I have quarterback love for him.
He's got mad quarterback love for him. I actually think we have a beer bet on whether or not J.J. McCarthy is going to be successful or not.
Absolutely.
All right, so it just so happens that he comes out of that game and has a problem with the knee, and they said that they're going to do a procedure, a slight tear in the meniscus in his right knee, and then he was going to go ahead and go under the knife. So I guess that's arthroscopically to begin with, and then they make the decision.
Right, so what that means is the meniscus has very poor blood supply. Only a third of it has very good blood supply.
Okay.
So when you tear in the other 2/3, so 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. 1/3 is has great, 1/3 is okay, and then 1/3 has none.
Okay.
So his tear is probably in what we call the red-white zone, where it's the 1/3 it's kind of iffy. So they probably want to go in there and look at it and see if they can repair it or is amenable to repair. Because if it is, he's going to be out. But it's better for the long-term health of his knee if you can fix it.
To repair it.
Right. Because the more you take out, the higher the risk of arthritis. So if his tear is in the back where it might be repairable, that's a big piece you got to take out. It's not like if it's in the periphery where it's in that area, just a little that hangs in the front. If you take out a little bit, not going to make a big difference.
Just to be clear, all he did was say he complained about a little pain the next day. And so at the very least, that sounds like it is a smaller tear, if there is a tear.
I mean, well, they said there
but as George always says, any tear is a tear.
Yeah,
they said there is a tear.
Yeah.
Look, I've had patients who I say, look, they're like 30, and I go, you have a tear, I can fix it. You're going to be crutches for 6 weeks, it takes 6 months, etc. They're like construction workers, they climb ladders, right? And they go, listen, I got kids to feed.
Yeah.
I don't want to fix it. Take it out. I'll deal with the arthritis when it hits me when I'm 40 or 50. I'll figure it out then. But I can't take that much time off because I got to have family feed. And that makes sense. I mean, I don't know how old he is, but
he's 22.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he's a 30-year-old, right? I mean,
he's a rookie.
Obviously fixing is the best thing, but the patient gets to decide what if they want fixed or not.
Right.
All right, so real quick, this is the question from one of our primetime fans in the same department. A 16-year-old nephew, a lineman at Reigns, diagnosed with a small meniscus tear and ACL sprain. The injury happened in the spring game back in May. Over the summer, he toughed it out, back into workouts, but as the season approaches, he might have hyperextended it. So our listener asking, is there anything we can do to just try and basically help? They said they've done the brace, the rest, the tape. Should they be more concerned?
I mean, the brace is great. It's going to help that ACL sprain. I don't know when he hyperextended it. Obviously, that was a secondary injury. I'm not sure if his knee got worse or swelled or if his knee is unstable. I don't know those answers, but I would wear the ACL brace. KT taping can help just with some of the muscle balance. You could always try a PRP shot, but that's going to take you out for a couple weeks. But that may help. And do some therapy to strengthen the muscles around the knee. Now, if he hyperextended the knee and his knee swelled up and now he has worsening symptoms, I would probably get a new MRI to see if whatever injury he had before is now worse, right? If he propagated the meniscus tear or the ACL is torn, partial tear now from a sprain. So, but if it just hurt that moment and then got better back to his baseline, PT, brace, and just, see how he does. If it's to the point where it's hurting a lot and he's struggling to play, I recommend if he needs a surgery to just do that at that point. But it depends how much it hurts.
All right, real quick, Gio. And this is just kind of a philosophical question, I guess. Texas has had its 2 top running backs go down with season-ending knee injuries. So, I mean, can that be related to the way either they're training, the surface they're on, or?
I mean, we talk about fake grass, right? And we've discussed that. Look, there are studies that show, especially in women's volleyball, that if you landing mechanics, if you teach them, that it gets the ACL tears decrease. And I don't know if these guys have ACL tears, but
they do.
Right. So yes, you can. It has been proven that there are things you can do. The problem with football is you're jumping up and you're not, like in volleyball, you jump up and you're landing down.
Right.
In football, you jump up, someone's hitting you. So you're not landing in a controlled manner as much as volleyball or tennis where there's no one hitting you as you're jumping. So it becomes a little harder. But yes, there are studies that prove training how to landing mechanics decrease ACL tears.
All right, if you guys got a sports injury question, if we missed it now, we'll try and throw it on Breaking Bones Sunday morning at 7:30 or get back to it next week when Dr. George Bahri drops by. I didn't even bring up River Ryan because he has season-ending Tommy John. It'll just make me cry, so we'll probably talk about that next week. Dr. George Bahri, you can find him at Bahri Orthopedics, and don't forget they can find our podcast, right?
Apple, Google, Spotify, 1010XL.
Check out Breaking Bones.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Speaking of season-ending injury, maybe we can get Gio back in to
wouldn't you know
do an
it?
extension. JJ McCarthy has had season-ending surgery on the meniscus in his knee. He will be out for the season.
Yeah,
that's a franchise that's had a lot of bad luck and continues to get.
And I guess
bad luck.
If nothing else, it's the Sam Darnold show. Whether they like it or not. Because remember, Kevin O'Connell said early in the offseason, he's our starter. And we're all going like, give me a break. JJ is your starter. And then this happened.
I mean, if they haven't given away picks to other people, and I don't think they have, I mean, this could work out in their favor because they're going to suck. Okay. So then you might get 3 picks in the first 100 because of how Washington's in the first 100, probably in the first, that would be like in the first 70. 70-something, all right? You get that, right? You're going to get a compensatory for Danielle Hunter, right? So, I mean, you've got a chance to put some pieces together for this young quarterback, I guess is my point. And you've got a pretty good team. If you suck this year because your quarterback's not any good, but you come back in 25 with relatively the same unit with more young pieces, you've got a chance in 25 to get better quickly.
Yeah. You're nodding your head.
I don't know if you want to hear that, man. Hey,
he ain't good, bro. You know that.
I'm just saying.
You know, everybody on that team right now is going, we're in trouble.
No.
And Sam's seeing ghosts right now.
We don't listen. We don't think. Listen, we think about winning now, bro. Yeah, he's a hell of a quarterback, franchise quarterback, but we got to win ball games.
All right,
now.
So I want you guys to think of this as we head into the next hour because I love our prime timers and they're already pointing it out. Thankfully, they're on top of everything. There might be a guy in Duval that they might want to use up there.
Maybe.
Something worth thinking about. It's XL Primetime Golf Club of Southampton Wednesday. Don't forget, call 287-PLAY. Come on out for a little 9 after 5.
The first Coast Honda Dealer Studio trade a little on 1010XL. This Sunday at Michigan International Speedway. Brought to you by the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234. From Jacksonville's NASCAR station, 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey, school's in session, and here's today's lesson. We have hundreds of certified vehicles to choose from, starting as low as $89.99. Plus, they come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile peace of mind warranty and free oil changes. That means you and your soon-to-be drivers will be protected. Plus, every purchase allows us to fund teachers' projects for the entire school year. Your next assignment, get to Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville. Deadline August 31st. We're here to wow you and our teachers.
This is Tony Baselli, Pro Football Hall of Famer. I was known for protecting our quarterback. These days, I'm extending that protection to a different arena, your home. I have partnered with Heritage Roofing of North Florida, your premier local roofers with over 25 years of experience. Heritage is your go-to roofer for hurricane preparation with same-day inspections and estimates. They also work with all insurance companies. Let Heritage Roofing of North Florida safeguard your home and family. Visit heritagenfl.com for your free estimate today.
State license CCC 1335410.
Nick in here for About 9 Associates, where you'll find Jacksonville's most esteemed eye doctors at each of their locations. After being selected for one of the most competitive ophthalmology fellowships in the world, Dr. Frank Bowden is frequently called upon for his expert opinion. He is currently one of the few cornea and external disease specialists in the area and the founder of About 9. Visit About 9 Associates today and experience the difference. About 9 Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
Guys, feeling deflated in the bedroom? ED, low T, no energy? If your stuff is broken, call 904-STROKEN or 904stroken.com. No shots in the first treatment, now free. Fix your ED at 904stroken.com.
The Drill takes you inside the ropes with PGA Tour insiders on Brunch with the Tour.
Yeah, that's a good spot to be.
Tuesday morning at 8:30.
Brought to you by
Clearwater Irrigation. Brunch provided by Chick-fil-A on 1010XL.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
Calling all fans of Duval to downtown Las Vegas during the game against the Silver and Black. This is Lauren Brooks from Helmets and Heels. Join us at Circa Resort and Casino this December for the Jacksonville Game Day Getaway featuring an incredible all-in package. Get a 3-night stay at Circa, $200 food and beverage credit, plus a day bed at Stadium Swim. With 6 temperature-controlled pools and a massive screen, it's the world's largest hot tub party. The all-in package is only available until August 30th, so act now. To book and to join the Heels in Vegas, visit circalasvegas.com today.
There's certain places you know if you go in, they got what you're looking for, like Gate Convenience Stores and Cold Modelo's. That's the ticket. Or get on the craft side of things with something from Bold City or Sweetwater. Hit the cooler at Gate. Full of choices and all of them good.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
When all you have is a hammer, everything is a nail. I'm Dr. George Bahri, and like me, I know you have been bombarded with PRP and stem cell treatments from companies that promise the world and charge prices to match. Or the surgeon that convinced you the only way to treat your injuries through surgery. At Bahri Orthopedics, we offer the best PRP treatment on the market with prices that won't cost you an arm and a leg. We also have the expertise to treat your injury surgically if that is what it entails. We can discuss all surgical and non-surgical options with you and make sure you get the best treatment available. Come see me, Dr. George Bahri at Bahri Orthopedics.
Okay, you've decided it's time to sell your home. How do you go from a problem to a promise? Listen, there are problems that come with selling one's homes, but with the promise of ChadandSandy.com, you're going to get there, and you're going to get there in the best possible way. You see, here's the promise. Your home sold guaranteed, or they will buy it. So go to ChadandSandy.com. Listen, lots of stories of proof out there. We're going to get to those in just a second. But maybe you need more space for your office or growing family, or you're worried about costly repairs. Chad and Sandy are the local real estate experts you can trust. We recommend them for the sale of your home. They guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price. Buy a deadline or they'll buy it. No required costly repairs. Pick your move date. No long-term contracts. You get it all with Chad and Sandy. Don't believe me? Ask Stephen and Marlene in Eagle Hammock. We needed to move quickly to Ohio to be with family. We heard about Chad and Sandy on the radio, and all we heard is true. Call Chad and Sandy today or go to chadandsandy.com.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes Summers here, so let's talk about something sizzling, making a Bacon 180 with Awaken 180. Imagine dropping pounds while still enjoying that crisp, savory goodness. Well, it's on the menu at Awaken 180, and one of the many reasons I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180 weight loss. I did it all while still enjoying so many of my favorite foods. The difference is, my coach showed me how to enjoy those foods the right way. Chicken, steak, pork, lobster, they're all on the menu. Awaken 180 caters to any diet or taste profile. Vegetarian, vegan, omnivore, even flexitarian. I'm not kidding. That's a thing. They're all covered. The bottom line, if you want to lose weight fast and safe and keep it off with lifetime coaching, then make your own Bacon 180 with Awaken 180. Do what I did, Mike Dempsey and Hacker, and more than 21,000 others online at awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
This is Molly McDonald with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update. The FSU Seminoles, a team that went 13-1 last season and won the ACC, is expected to keep that same drive this year and is ranked number 10 in the preseason AP Top 25 poll. However, college football guru Paul Feinbaum knocked them down, stating they'll finish unranked.
Florida State, first of all, they have no business being in the top 10. They have a difficult schedule, but I think they're going to get caught in the run-of-the-mill ACC game this year, which they did not encounter last year. And I think they also have a hangover. I think they used up too many tears crying about not getting in the playoffs, and that may slow them down a little bit this year.
The Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp take their opening game against the Memphis Redbirds 4-3 last night, with Shrimp Griffin Conine hitting a grand slam that helped secure the victory. Game 2 will be tonight with first pitch at 7:05. It's 87 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time in temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
All right, we are having a great day, especially in the city of Jacksonville, because we're getting closer and closer to real football. We were out watching Buccaneers, Jaguars joint practices today. There were a lot of Jaguar fans out there having a good time. So hopefully everybody is enjoying getting ready for some real football. It's not going to be necessarily real football Saturday night. You're going to see more backups than you are going to really see starters from either side Saturday night. But if you get out to the joint practices, and a lot of people did today and, of course, tomorrow, you're going to be treated to some really good matchups. Just watching Tyson Campbell against Mike Evans was one of the bigger matchups to look forward to. And then, as we mentioned in the 2 o'clock hour, some of those one-on-ones from the linemen and defensive stars for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So we keep it cranking. Golf Club of Southampton, we say thanks to them. 287 play is their number. We'd love to see you tonight with the 9 after 5. Come on out for a little 9-hole game. Food afterwards, some prizes. It's always good to break up the week. A little hump day fun out at the Golf Club of Southampton. Now, we ended the 2 o'clock hour, Leon, talking about the fact that J.J. McCarthy is now ruled out for the season. The rookie, high draft pick with the knee injury is gone. He's going to have surgery. He's gone. And so immediately our primetime fans jumping in going, wait a minute, start looking around. Who might they make a play for if they're going to start looking for a guy that can compete with Sam Darnold? Sam Darnold was a 3rd overall pick his year. And so people are jumping in on Mac Jones. And the Jags already have draft capital from Minnesota by making the deal in the first round. All sorts of things are possible.
Yeah, but I'm not giving up Mac Jones. Listen, I saw Bethel last year, and just, nothing was shy to him. Just the truth. The facts are, Trevor had to play in the majority of those games because I think that as a staff, the coaching staff knew that Bethel was not the answer. Absolutely wasn't the answer. If Mac Jones was our quarterback last year as a backup, a lot of those games that Trevor was clearly hurt in. I can't make an excuse for him because he turned the ball over and whatever he did. And offensive line didn't help him in protection. But we win. I think we win at least one game. And
that's all they needed.
That's all we needed was one game. So I'm with Matt. Listen, if you want Mac Jones, you got to give me. We got to start at a third and then work to the first.
Third.
At least a third, bro. 3,
I'd
2,
say
or
first.
1.
I mean, who cares? You want him. You want Mac Brown on your team.
Yeah.
Because it's the NFL. Your quarterback gets hurt. You need him. I just say 1. And they say, are you out of your mind? Then you say, go scratch then.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you can. And, all right, so let's at least play the game. You start looking around, and there are a handful of other quality quarterbacks. Everyone's thinking about their backup being very important.
Yeah.
They don't want to find themselves in a situation like you're describing, Leon, where if you just had a guy that was good enough to win one football game down the stretch for you, you'd be in the postseason. But take a look at some of the other names that are out there as far as backup quarterbacks. I'm looking for this list that I had set aside, and there's definitely, Trey Lance is a great example.
Yeah.
Okay, Trey Lance is a guy right now that is sitting in a Dallas Cowboys locker room wondering, when is he going to have a chance to prove he can be a starter again? He may never be. But he and Mac are both of those. They're in that same pile as far as starters that didn't work out that are now backup.
Well, I mean, Trey Lance may be in a situation like Green Bay was maybe a couple of years ago, where they use him as leverage, to where you let Aaron Donald walk in and Jordan Love walks in the door, and then maybe you let Dak Prescott walk going to free agency, and then you move forward with this guy, or you make a play. I don't know how true this is. You make a play for Shador. Cowboys, Shador Sanders, somewhere next year in the draft. I just think that somewhere Dak is going to walk. I don't think that he's going to get the $65 million he's looking for.
Now, if you're the Vikings, you could tell the Cowboys, I'll give you a 5th for Cooper Rush. You could do that, certainly.
He's sitting there.
Or Trey Lance. Either or.
Yeah, hey, look,
that's my guess is that's who they probably look at.
We have not seen enough Trey Lance, so we have no idea whether he's going to turn the corner or not. But I'll admit, I've been a doubter, and then when I saw some of his work the other night, this is all preseason. It should never, ever really be a true indicator of what a guy can do. But I did come away from the highlights going, a little bit better for Trey Lance than maybe I expected. And so it's possible that they would pick up that phone and at least check.
I mean, he's what, just as unpredictable as how much of Jordan Love did we see when he was with Green Bay?
Very little.
Very, very, very little. I mean, if I'm Jerry Jones, I'm using maybe Trey Lance as leverage, maybe let Dak walk, not pay him the $65 million, and then move forward with him. I don't know. But I'm saying as far as a viable backup, Cooper Rush or Trey Lance would definitely be an upgrade if you're moving to Minnesota.
Yeah, I don't. Again, I think you're going to need Mac Jones. There's no doubt about it. You hate to say that because then that means Trevor's hurt and he's missing games. But it's the NFL. You
don't want
players
that.
get hurt, and that's just the reality of the situation. So if you think you've got a team that can compete, that can run it deep and in the playoffs, you need some security.
Yeah.
So unless they want to give you some ridiculous number like a first-round pick, forget it.
And I'm looking at some of the other guys that are out there right now that are at least on rosters, and the team has plans for them going forward. And let's just take Jake Browning as an example, who last year came in and won a Monday Night Football game on the road, replacing Joe Burrow. They ended up at least staying alive for a while in the playoff possibilities coming down the stretch. They didn't make it, but the Cleveland Browns did, playing 4 different quarterbacks, including Flippin' Flacco. And so it can happen. And heck, we watched today. Johnny Wolford and Kyle Trask are both trying to make that Tampa Bay Bucs roster. One's a former Gator, the other's a former star at Bishop Kenny right here in Duval. And so there's guys all over the place. Cooper Rush, I agree. You could throw him into the conversation. But they got to be looking for a guy that's going to deliver the football to Justin Jefferson on a Justin Jefferson. Don't let me get that wrong. To Justin Jefferson on a regular basis.
What about Minshew?
He signed a, I think,
$25 million contract.
A 2-year, $25 million deal. And he's battling for that job. And they don't necessarily have a guy right now that's head and shoulders better than Gardner. Gardner didn't look too bad the other day.
He didn't. I mean, but the reality is Aiden O'Connell was 5-5 as a starter last year.
Yeah.
That's not bad as a rookie.
No.
It's not bad at all.
Okay, so let's throw another few guys out here. And you guys hit us with the thought that you've got 6'4", 110. One's already saying Trey Lance was not very good the other night. And I totally get it. Like I said, I'm I'm not 100% sure of anything with Trey Lance at all. I know that his style of play fits today's game. But can he read defenses? Can he make the right decision at the right time? And then can he deliver the throw? Those are all questions that we haven't been able to answer yet. But let's use Kenny Pickett as an example. Kenny Pickett was a first-round draft pick that Pittsburgh has given up on. And now Pittsburgh is taking a guy that Chicago's given up on in Justin Fields. And then, of course, you got Mac here, and you got a handful of other guys that have been bouncing around. Jimmy Garoppolo, we were just talking about him a minute ago. He's with the Rams. And he was a Kyle Shanahan creation out in San Francisco after backing up Tommy. And then Sean McVay, who worked with Shanahan very close when they were in Washington. So he goes and gets Garoppolo. Garoppolo's still a guy that can win football games. Would you not agree with that? I mean, he may not be great, but he still can win football games.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's still in the league. You say he's with the Rams?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's got the experience. And you're talking about the Vikings team. You know, just because the guy goes down, you're not going to fold your team. You got enough veteran leadership on that team. That team last year, was still in the hunt. I don't know if they made the playoffs last year, right?
No, because they lost Kirk Cousins with the Achilles.
They lose Cousins. But listen, they're a viable team that's got a lot of veterans lead. If you bring somebody in there that could pull the cart and make them make the team viable, you just don't want to fold the tent because of a first round pick that goes down like that. Veterans just don't operate like that.
There aren't that many when you start whittling this thing down.
Yeah.
Saturday night we saw Carson Wentz at the bank.
We did.
And I don't honestly remember there was a time when Carson Wentz was an MVP candidate. It's hard to believe, but that's all the way back. Yeah, all the way back in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
But he's been up, down, in, out, on and off rosters. Anyways, with Kansas City now, there's a handful of other guys that are being thrown out there. You look at what the Atlanta Falcons did.
Mm-hmm.
They said, we're going to go get Kirk Cousins and we're going to draft a guy. And so I don't know whether they would even entertain the idea of moving a first rounder. It's doubtful, very doubtful. But this particular first rounder that's here, that's a cast off from New England, is a real possibility.
You would think.
For
just
them,
because
for Minnesota,
because he's
maybe not for Jacksonville.
Right. But he's a guy that's played a significant amount of time in the league, was in a playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
Yeah.
Proven he can do it at this level. Was in a weird situation with the Patriots. That's really the best. How else could you explain the fact that a former defensive coordinator was his offensive coordinator,
mm-hmm.
and a former special teams coach was his quarterback's coach?
That was a hot mess
for a year.
Yeah.
So he's just in a weird situation, and then Bill O'Brien got there for 1 year, and Bill O'Brien was literally trying to fix 2 years of mess.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think it's – if you want to do that, he's certainly an option. But if I were the Jags, I would want a king's ransom.
Mm-hmm.
Forget it, man.
All right,
we need him.
Let's make this the 10-10 take, RJ, because at the very least, there's a spotlight about to take place.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmasters since 68.
Sonny's all over the First Coast, ready to serve you, make you happy, make that belly full. You might have some hunger pangs right now late in the afternoon, but you go to Sonny's, order up a rack of ribs, some chicken, turkey, whatever it might be, and you will have that hunger problem solved. So make sure you check out any one of your area Sonny's. It will be a showcase game for Mac Jones Saturday night. If we are boiling it down to every NFL executive is always looking at the what ifs. What do I have that you might want? If you want it, how much can I get for it? Or what do you have that I want? It's just the way it goes. And in this case, it just so happens that Mac Jones will get the lion's share of work Saturday night against the Tampa Bay Bucks. And I tweeted out a few things today. You guys can see him at work. He is still one of the guys, big size, can move when he needs to, reads defenses decently, doesn't always make the best decision. And that is probably what led to New England giving up on him a little bit towards the end. But he's still a commodity, and it just so happens he might have a showcase game Saturday night. That's the 10-10 take. Because at the very least, he's going to be the one that they're going to have their eyes on.
Yeah, you can't forget this guy as a rookie took his team to the playoffs. Now, they ruined him the last 2 years. And listen, if this was any other coach, we'd be badgering Bill Belichick, allowing the defensive coordinator to be the offensive coordinator and to call the plays and develop this player. If there's any other head coach outside of Belichick, we'd be trashing right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The fact that he got away with that, and obviously it was on his way out the door.
By the way, have you seen the latest with the Lions and what they're doing, like the before and after?
No.
You know the whole thing on Twitter, which is now X. You know how it began, how it is now, or how it started, how it is now.
Mm-hmm.
How it started was Patricia riding in on a 4-wheeler with a Lions thing. You know, just riding into practice, and then it says how it is now, and you got Campbell doing burpees on the field with the players.
That is where they are. It's a totally different deal. Totally different dynamic.
Well, I mean, the first coach wasn't physically fit to do no burpees, bro.
He wasn't. That was kind of the point. That was kind of the point.
Cut the slack.
You start looking around at backups, and we'll at least look at a few more of these. Like Andy Dalton's still bumping around right now.
Andy Dalton's still in the league?
I couldn't believe it the other night when I saw Carson Wentz. Could not believe it.
I told you the best job at NFL, backup quarterback.
It is a good one.
12 years.
Dalton's bumping around. You've got, Jameis is still out there. Jacoby Brissett has made a decent living for a fair amount of time. You got Sam Howell.
Yeah.
Now in Seattle after basically being given up on in Washington. He's up there.
Yeah. Joe.
So there's a bunch of them.
It's hard to give up them checks, Joe. Once they're gone, they're gone.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. And you know as well as I do.
I know the feeling.
Today's world, those quarterbacks do not get hit hardly at all. If they know how to learn playbooks and can stay in shape, obviously make the throws, they can make a 15-year living out of this.
Yeah, absolutely. And then guess what's going to happen after they make the 15-year living here? All right, they're going to transition to coaching, all right, more than likely than college. And then college, you know, they're going to go as an OC, then they'll be a head coach. And next thing you know, 5 to 7 years from now, they'll be somewhere being the position coach making more checks. Yeah. That's the quarterback. That's how they transition.
It's the dream. It's the dream. It is XL Primetime, our dream. Hanging out with you every single day. We appreciate it. If you miss any of the show, all you got to do is go to YouTube. You can search XL Primetime. You can stream whenever you want.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers.
There's a new one-stop shop for all things Gators. Subscribe to the 1010XL Gators YouTube channel. Up-to-the-minute updates, instant reaction from Gainesville, plus the same 1010XL Gators podcast you've grown to know. And check out 1010XL Gators on YouTube.
Do the Garber Wiggle, 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 Garber Wiggle. If you're looking for a pre-owned vehicle with lifetime warranty, Garber Auto Mall can wiggle it. Best price, best payment, best trade-in value, Garber Auto Mall can wiggle it. With a huge selection of pre-owned vehicles, Garber Auto Mall can wiggle it. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there is always a little room for wiggle. Garber Wiggle, 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 Garber Wiggle.
This is Keith Scott with Veterans Wholesale Cabinets. We are Northeast Florida's cabinet experts and your best option to elevate your home improvement project for both homeowners and contractors, and attention to detail to every project. VeteransWholesaleCabinets.com.
It all comes down to Daytona and the Coke Zero Sugar 400 race weekend, August 23rd and 24th. For your chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets to the Coke Zero Sugar 400 August 24th, answer this question. Who won last year's Coke Zero Sugar 400? Text the driver's last name only to 641-1010. Who won last year's Coke Zero Sugar 400? Text the driver's last name only to 641-1010 for your chance to win.
This is Josh Woolsey with Woolsey Morecambe. Woolsey Morecambe is your MVP in the legal game. Our team of skilled attorneys tackle personal injury cases with compassion and expertise. With fumbles like a car or truck accident, we're here to seek the compensation you deserve. Right here in Jacksonville, we've successfully won over $100 million and earned a championship-worthy record. When it's game time, you want a team that plays to win. Contact Woolsey Morecambe at 1-800-WOOLSEY. Offices, Jacksonville.
Yo, it's your boy E to the T. And are you ready for the ultimate college football season? Using MyBookie sportsbook and casino platform, you can bet on every game and win anytime. anywhere, straight from your mobile device. No app needed. Just sign up at mybookie.com and you're ready to rock. Whether you're rooting for your alma mater or your favorite team, there's no better way to experience this season than having action on the game. And when you know your team well, it's an easy way to take advantage of procs like team win totals and early picks for playoff contention. Last year, MyBookie had some of the best odds on the market for the Wolverines to win the championship. And Michigan bettors who backed their squad saw 10 times the return on their wager. Lock your futures in now while you're waiting for the season to begin and use promo code 1010XL to claim a bonus up to $1,000. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Come on, somebody.
Duval. Your Jaguars are back for another preseason matchup as we take on our neighbors to the west, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meet us at the bank Saturday, August 17th for a 7:30 p.m. kickoff. This is your last chance to see the Jags before the regular season kicks off. So lock in your tickets today by calling 904-633-2000 or online at jaguars.com/tickets.
This is Mark Nato. My son Justin injured his hand playing baseball for JU. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist performed surgery just a few days later, and within 5 weeks, he was cleared to play in the ASUN baseball tournament. Our family has trusted Southeast Orthopedic Specialists for years. For any orthopedic injury, let Southeast Orthopedic Specialists take care of you too.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is Hayes Carline for SkyLife Elite. Are you tired of canceled flights, unruly passengers, and layovers? Call my friends at SkyLife Elite. Consider using private charter flights for your next adventure. Yes, you can afford it. Make your own schedule. Fly direct. Drive your car to Craig Airport and get directly on the plane. SkyLife Elite can make that happen. Call 490-9332. Go to flyskylife.com and find them on social media. Fly SkyLife Elite, North Florida's premier private air charter.
911, what's your emergency?
Help, we don't have air conditioning.
Ma'am, 911 is for emergencies only.
Well, my husband's trying to stuff himself in the refrigerator.
I see. Well, maybe you should call Duck Duck Air Conditioning.
To get him out of the fridge?
To get a new AC system.
Beat the Florida heat with Duck Duck Air Conditioning. Jacksonville area's AC experts. For service, repairs to new installations, trust the Duck. DuckDuckAC.com.
When you want to be heard, send your opinion to the 1010XL text line. Designed by Lifetime Enclosures.
Thank you for believing in me when the bosses didn't give me a chance.
641-1010. No texting and driving. Get your thoughts heard on 1010XL.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool. On 1010XL.
See, this screams that RJ's in a good mood, as opposed to sometimes he's just kind of like all jazzed up in there, just kind of chilling, just laying back and smoking robe, you know, that kind of stuff. I like this part.
Did you say smoking what?
Smoking robe. He's got him a smoking robe. People don't know this about RJ. Yeah. He's got him a smoking robe. He doesn't even want to talk about it.
RJ has no idea.
I try to give you guys a mix.
That, right? He literally has no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, listen, I love the mix, bro. I like it. Anything that's good and energy driven, good rock and roll.
RJ, do you know what a smoking robe is?
I do not.
How old do you feel now, honestly?
Yeah, I don't know. All right. Throw me at that real quick, RJ, because
that just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
So it's bad enough that they know up there in Minnesota that J.J. McCarthy, their prized pluck of the first round, is going to be gone for the year. And now Jordan Addison being carted off the field, off the practice field after leaping for a contested pass. And so he was hobbling off the field, eventually had to get on a cart. So it doesn't say for sure what type of injury we were looking at. We saw guys get banged up, and then they were back out there a little bit later. But when you got to hop on the cart, that's never good. And so now you got Justin Jefferson looking around going, well, who's going to throw me the ball? And then whoever they do eventually get, it might be Sam Darnold, or they just ride with him or go get somebody else. Now there's no Addison on the other side.
Yeah, that's never good when you got to bring the card in. But I know Justin Jefferson is happy he got paid. Because now because he's secure. I mean, if he had walked,
very true.
Yeah, imagine that.
I'm just saying. Yeah. Imagine if that was him and he was still negotiating his contract and then get his money. Yeah. I mean, all the leverage goes to the organization now. I mean, now he's on a 1-year deal, and I don't know, but there's a reason why guys go in there and want to get their deals done, because they know the magnitude of what can happen if you get hurt. Now, you don't go into practice thinking that you're going to get hurt, but that's just
Still, I said the Vikings had bad luck before we knew that. Now you got both JJ and Jordan Addison going down.
Yeah. That's
not good at all.
So let's see here. And I'm just looking at Pro Football Network. And you got 1,000 different sites giving you 1,000 different thoughts. But their rankings for the top backup quarterbacks out there right now, they put Justin Fields first. And heck, he may win the job. But we don't know.
Yeah.
Rust Wilson, as I call him, is just like kind of rehabbing an injury. Yeah. And so we don't know for sure if he's going to – he's the perceived starter. So anyway, Justin is the backup there. He's regarded as the best according to them. Garoppolo is second. Jameis is third.
Forgot about Jameis.
Yeah. I'd probably put Mac at this stage of Jameis's career versus Mac at this stage. I'd put Mac ahead of him.
I don't know about that.
Jameis.
That's a coin flip.
Well,
we really haven't seen Jameis.
Exactly. The last time he was a full-time quarterback, he threw 30 picks. He was a 30 for 30 guy. They thought about turning it into a series, 30 for 30.
Documentary.
Yeah, exactly, because he threw 30.
He had like 35 total turnovers, too, right? He had like 5 or 6 fumbles,
Yeah, like he had but more than anything else, he threw for like 60 touchdowns because touchdowns going the other way, it seemed like every time. But anyway, he went through the knee injury down in New Orleans. He signed the 1-year deal. At least he stuck around with them. Now he is – where's he at? He's up there. Is he in Cleveland? Yeah. He's in Cleveland. And so you got all these guys that are bouncing around. Jake Browning with the Bengals. We've already mentioned him. And they have him ranked among the top 4 or 5 backup quarterbacks.
He and Mac are the same person.
Yeah. It blows my mind that Pro Football Network is going to put Joe Flacco top 5 among backup quarterbacks. But
I mean, look what he did last year. How could you not?
Yeah, he's at least displaying the ability to keep going out there and making enough plays. All he's got to do is get up.
Are the Browns any better than the Vikings when you think about it? Kind of the same team, right?
Well, they got a really, really good defense. Really good defense. Decent run game.
So the Browns.
Yeah.
That's what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, and the Vikings got hurt with Danielle Hunter, with the loss of him.
Yeah, Danielle Hunter's gone. Anyway, so I would just
But they do have Dallas Turner, so,
But Flacco is
got a sack, by the way, last
39 years old.
Yeah.
So anyway, they got Gardner listed as a backup, and I don't know whether that's going to actually be the case or not. We'll find out. But he is listed as a backup. And then they got Dalton 7th with the Carolina Panthers. So, look, there is some appeal, you'd have to say, if the top third of the league doesn't have a bunch of great quality quarterbacks on their roster, then, phone calls are going to be made, and people are going to be talking about whether or not they can make it.
Are there any guys in street clothes that they would probably go after? Anybody that maybe in
I got to think about that.
Yeah, I was just trying to think. Is there anybody out there in the street? Yeah, someone in street clothes right now.
Well, last year, just for your example, Leon.
Yeah.
Last year, when this went down with Cleveland, I'm pretty sure it was Cleveland. They still called Phillip Rivers just to see how he was doing.
Why not?
Yeah.
Just to see, and especially when you had a 45-year-old Tommy and now a 47 or 48, however old he is now, still talking about.
Well, didn't
maybe.
they do the same thing with Flacco? I mean, wasn't Flacco somewhere at Target shopping or something?
He was on the.
It was something crazy.
He was on the Jets practice roster. Anybody could have signed him.
Okay, all right.
Anybody could have signed him, and then they did. Cleveland did, and he basically milked that puppy, and I don't blame him. He did.
I mean, why would you? What did he make last year? Like $2 million or $3 million?
Yeah, I don't know what the number was.
What's the minimum for a guy that's been in the league for how many years?
Yeah, well, he's
veteran minimum.
15 years.
It's got to be. I know it's over 15. I know it's over 1.5. It's got to be.
Yeah.
A veteran minimum.
And just the fact that he's 38. He was 38 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's tremendous. And he was just living a dream. He's like, why not? Just keep it going. I'm gonna play until I can't. That type of stuff. But Mac, according to them, is rated as the 12th best backup. I would disagree with that. I would certainly put him ahead.
Well, no, Matt, don't disagree with. Keep him right where he's at, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Listen. I'm saying, but I'm just telling you, he's a lot more viable option than Beathard is.
Yeah. Oh my God!
That's what I'm saying.
Far and away. But my point is,
if
somebody wants to be dumb and give you a pick for him, a high pick, you might have to look at that.
Yeah, you at least got to think about it. All right, we need to fit in a couple of pieces of college football news before we are done. I had a quick conversation with Austin Tramble, so we'll try and get to that as well. It's XL Primetime hanging out on a Wednesday. Golf Club of Southampton bringing you today's show, 287 play. Hop on out, enjoy a 9-hole game. Just some fun, really, to get out and kind of beat the heat as the sun goes down. 287 play. Don't forget they got Thursday night trivia. Friday night music on the patio is always a great menu going along with that local artist coming out and performing.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
At Honda, we appreciate all the comparisons to other vehicles. And no matter how many times they compare their vehicles to a Honda, only a Honda is a Honda. Remember, value, quality, safety, there is no substitute. Visit your local Honda dealer now and experience the difference.
If you're from the South, you know all about fried green tomatoes and BLTs, so put some South in your mouth and get to Bono's to try the fried green tomatoes appetizer served with Reggie Ranch and one-of-a-kind Bono's BLT with smoked brisket, lettuce, and fried green tomatoes served with one southern side. Frank Frangie here, and I'm telling you, I love fried green tomatoes, and this sandwich is out of sight. So head to your local Bono's today. The fried green tomatoes appetizer and BLT is a summer sensation. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
The best game day parking in all of Duval is at Tailgaters Parking. Are you ready for some football? Tailgaters is just steps away on the east side of the stadium. Visit tailgatorsparking.com and secure your season parking pass today.
Electricians, innovators, and tech enthusiasts, listen up. Miller Electric is shaping the future, and we want you to be a part of it. From healthcare and data centers, corporate offices, aviation, and industrial facilities, Miller Electric is powering the most exciting projects in Jacksonville and beyond. We offer not just a job, but a thrilling career with great pay and incredible benefits. Visit us at millercareers.com to apply. Miller Electric, where your skills meet our vision and equal opportunity employer.
When were the St. Johns River jetties built? The answer next.
There's always a good reason to compare homeowners' insurance rates. You may be paying too much. Protect your home with a Southern Oak insurance policy today.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Congress approved plans to build the jetties in 1879, and construction was from 1880 to 1885.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On August 14, 2016, Jamaican sprint star Usain Bolt wins a 100-meter gold medal at the Rio Olympics, becoming the first man to win the event 3 times.
Hacker here with a new opportunity for you. The 20-pound Summer Slim Down with Awaken 180 weight loss. Dropping 20 pounds before summer ends, cruising to your goal of 30, 40, 50-plus pounds down. It's simple. You take the last few weeks of summer, eating, drinking, enjoying the weather, but the difference? You're doing it with the 20-pound Summer Slim Down. But you say, Hack, summer's almost over. Well, that's the point. The pounds melt off fast with Awaken 180. I dropped my first 20 in less time, and that easy 20 propelled me to reach my goal of losing over 85 pounds. Think about it. You're about to slide back into the same old fall routine with the same old mindset. Mix it up. Live up the rest of your summer while dropping the first first 20, then jump into fall with a whole new groove. Yeah, I said it, and you'll be saying it too in just a few weeks. 20-pound summer slim down with the solution for weight loss. Online, awaken180weightloss.com.
You're going to feel a puff of air.
Zhang's Optometry has set their sights on staffing up.
Try the next line. Hey, Kim, can you tell our 2 o'clock we're running 15 behind? Sorry, we're a bit backed up today.
He needs an optometric technician to keep an eye on it all.
Where are the dilation drops?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Roland Reese Plumbing, one of the great stories for me because I needed them and they were there. And that's how simple it is. A plumber, you call them when you got a leak and you can't wait a week. Roland Reese came through. My water heater was just on bust, and it was leaking out, and he said, don't worry about it. We've got what it's going to take to get there stat. They were in there within a day's time, replaced a big old water heater, made sure I had warm water. I wasn't taking any cold showers. They can do it for you as well. 24/7 emergency service available where quality and experience count. Remember, log on plumbingjacksonville.com and check out Roland Reese Plumbing.
Homeowners, good news for you. Accent on 4. Listen up. Loan Pronto now has mortgage rates that start with a 4. Prosser here. It's true. Mortgage rates have plummeted. So low, we haven't seen them in a long time. If your current rate is over 6%, you can dump it and lower your house payment big time. Loan Pronto just locked in a homeowner at 4.99% APR. So whether you got your loan last week, last month, or last year, it's time to call Loan Pronto. Even if you're in process with another lender, stop now. Call Loan Pronto. Ask about their zero-cost rate reduction home loan. You can lock in a lower rate with no closing costs in a matter of days, with almost no paperwork and usually no appraisal. And if you act now, you can even skip your next 2 house payments. Call now. Loan Pronto can give you a rate quote in minutes with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees like those other guys. Call 904-999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Call 904-999-1508. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. Owner approved credit, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. Clayton, Underwoods has sold fine quality diamonds for a long time. Why is that important?
Frank, if you drew a line with the poorest diamonds with the lowest prices to the left and the highest quality to the right, our diamonds are at the far right end. Now, once we know the weight, the grading factors of cut, color, and clarity have to be considered. And the one that's talked about the least, but it's the most important to us, is the diamond's cut grade, because it has a huge implication on both the price and the beauty, and thus the value. I've bought diamonds for Underwoods for over 30 years, so I know what's out there. And the cut grade's just not important to most diamond sellers. That's really been the Underwood difference because beautifully cut diamonds result in the most important thing they can do. They bring a joy of owning and wearing a diamond not just today, but tomorrow and into the future. That's why it's important to us.
And it should be to you too, because nothing brings more joy than a diamond from Underwoods in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra since 1928.
Roof damage? Call before you claim. Green Law Group, fighting insurance companies for you. They will work for you when you have roof damage. Don't let your insurance deny you. Don't call an adjuster. Call Green Law Group at 904-302-7055. Remember, if you have roof damage, call Green Law Group before you claim. They've settled millions and will work hard to get your claim and new roof. Green Law Group. Call before you claim. 904-302-7055.
This is Dr. Steve Crenshaw, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Tank Bigsby is a player the Jaguars would love to see take their game to the next level this season. After a rough transition to the NFL in his rookie year last year, offensive coordinator Press Taylor believes Bigsby is showing he can take charge of an RB2 role.
I think it's just a continuation of the development we've seen from him and what we expected. As he got into training camp, he runs hard. He's very physical. Tank is an appropriate name for him. So I think he's just continued to grow and develop, and you see that confidence, just like all these second-year players. They look like different players. They're the same guy, but things slow down. They're confident in the system. They're confident in the things they're asked to do.
Stick around right here on 1010XL 92.5 for coverage of Saturday night's game against the Buccaneers at 7:30. I'm Max Fink with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010 1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
Well, my takeaway today is, that was a good session with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers today on both sides of the ball. I saw defense get out there a little bit, offense get out there a little bit. Just got to be able to, translate that onto the field. That toughness, that newfound toughness that these Jaguar teams are trying to establish this season.
Did you just do air quotes when you said toughness?
Toughness.
All right. My takeaway is either Vita Vea is going to be a problem for everybody in the NFL, or it is what we think it is in that middle three.
Mm.
And look, I realize it's still camp and you're still working things out, but if I'm the GM of this team, I'm looking. I'm definitely looking. Because, look, they've got problems. I don't know how else to say it.
Well,
it was evident against the Chiefs, and Chris Jones wasn't playing. It's evident out on that field today.
Yeah, you're a whistleblower. Okay, I'm just going to wait and see.
Leon, am I wrong, or am I just is it hyperbole?
Yeah. I don't think it's hyperbole.
But we knew they were going to have problems.
I'm just saying, I'm telling you you're a whistleblower, okay? Because I'm trying to go in the other direction, that's all. Because I just feel like this team is going to be able to, and it still looks like a weak link. There's no doubt about that. I just think they're going to be able to overcome it. And that's what good teams do. They figure out ways. This ain't the first group that has had a poor interior offensive line. So they're going to have to prove whether or not they can get the job done or not. That's really the essence of it. Can they get the ball out? Can they get the run game going? Those are the two things that absolutely have to happen. All right, my takeaway is we had Tim Tebow on earlier celebrating his 37th birthday, and what a treat. And you can help him continue to do all the great things that he does just by going to the timtebowfoundation.org and see what they are working on and how you can help. But he does that every single year. Just make that small donation, but his age is creeping up on him. So instead of $36, it's $37. And so he's how quickly did it happen to go from winning national championships to turning 37 just like that? Happens fast. All right, now on the text line, High Tide on the South Side, he's usually got a little bit of a burn going on about this time of the afternoon, and he has presented a case to us that I think is worth discussing, because we said earlier, at least I said to RJ, that sometimes he has the smoking robe on, and then High Tide went with smoking rope, and he said he gave us,
which is what I thought you said initially.
Exactly. I went with the smoking rope, and then he went with the smoking rope, and so then when we went to the smoking rope, he gave me the Urban Dictionary on the smoking rope. So now at least, RJ, do you know the difference between a smoking robe and a smoking rope?
I don't. I don't think I want to know.
Okay, all right. I'm just checking. We're just checking because.
Enlighten yourself, my brother.
I choose not to, my good brother.
Don't stay in the dark all your life, baby. Come to the light. Come to the light.
Oh, all right. Either one. He's still just a little out there on right now. All right. So let's get back to what Timmy did say and this Florida-Miami game, because we are counting it down, and we're inside of 2 weeks. Next week, Florida State and Georgia Tech. RJ, I hope you have the sounder, but they are going to get on a plane. They're going to cross the pond, and they're going to go play over in Dublin, Ireland, and that's going to be on week 0. And so that's happening with FSU next week. And then Florida-Miami, we're only a couple Saturdays away, fellas, from this all starting in earnest. But what Tim said, I agree with, and it's been my theory that I've been trying to throw out there with the DJ Lagway hype, is that Billy Napier needs to win as many football games as possible. We all know that. Graham Mertz represents the best chance for him to win as many of those games as possible. But to dispel the idea that DJ Lagway couldn't be a secret weapon, a magic change-up pitch for the Florida Gators football team, I think he's going to try and use him. I think he's going to try and use the heck out of him and put him in situations where he can have some kind of RPO package for him.
Well, here's the thing. Dare I say that Graham Mertz, what if he's in the ebb and flow, all right? What if he's completing passes and all of a sudden you're going to pull him?
That you're right about that. You don't want to do that.
You don't want to do that.
But at the same time, I don't want Billy Napier to fall into the trap that how far back are we going? I believe, I'm trying to remember, I guess it was Jim McElwain, where he was trying to make sure he played a recruit to make sure that he could keep recruiting that area. Do you remember this? Was this Treon Harris back?
No, but I mean, Jim McElwain played Felipe Franks instead of keeping Will Grier because he didn't want to have to deal with Will Muschamp's quarterback, which is what Will Grier was.
Yeah. Okay. So there's another good example, but there have been guys that they decided to play guys worrying about recruiting. I don't want Billy to do that, but he definitely knows that DJ Lagway is an excitable young player that other recruits are interested in coming to Florida and playing with. And so the earlier you showcase that talent, the more possibilities you have in terms of maybe getting a recruit to say they want to come to Gainesville. Don't sit Graham Mertz down just for that, but take advantage of the skill set that this kid's got.
What didn't Mullen have that issue when it came to Anthony Richardson initially, when he said when he thought he wasn't ready and the fan base got on him because he wasn't getting in the games and he threw him in the fire at Georgia?
Yeah.
And they dismantled him.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I remember that.
It was
almost
so bad for Ant, man.
It almost felt like Mullen. It almost felt like Dan Mullen's like, see, I told you.
Oh, it's 100% what they're doing. Yes.
Do you see the throw the hands up in the air emoji?
Yeah.
That's what Mullen did. He's like, okay, all right, fine.
All right, y'all want to see this?
Y'all want to see it? Oh, here it is.
And it was a hot mess at that point. I think we all know that.
Yeah, that was when the year he got fired. Yeah.
But you can go to Treon Harris, Emory Jones, and Anthony Richardson. And they're all three good examples of guys. And then, of course, using your Felipe Franks and Will Grier thing. Those are all bad patches of coaches in Gainesville making bad decisions and not getting the most out of that position.
And what do they all have in common? Fired.
Well, yeah, it led to their demise.
Yeah, so that's kind of my point with this one.
Yeah, Graham Mertz can easily lead them and make enough throws to keep them in ball games. He has proven that he's good enough. He has some excitable young talent, Trey Wilson being the biggest of them, that he can get the football to. He has a better offensive line that's going to allow him to have a little more time and make some throws down the field instead of a small yards per attempt. But any successful offense right now in college is going to give you that element of a running quarterback that can scare the bejesus out of defenses.
For the most part.
For the most.
Because Quinn Ewers isn't running anywhere.
No, but I guess I'm thinking of teams that need that wrinkle to it. And heck, even Jordan Travis last year, as capable of a thrower as he became, he still represented that run threat.
Yeah.
And Graham Mertz can move, but he is not moving like that. And when did Graham Mertz get hurt? When he
tried to move like that.
Yeah, when he tried to move like that. And
when he tried to run over a linebacker, which was to get a first down. Got the first down.
Yeah.
Ended his season.
Yeah, and he didn't make a business decision. I'll give him credit on that. He was a tough cat or a tough gator in that particular moment. But, yeah, you got to take care of the body. You got to be smart about it. And then there's another bruiser that's ready to basically say, hey, let me have that part of the game plan. And Cam Ward could be both for Miami. He's a big kid that can take off and run, but also can throw the football.
Yeah, he is. And, that's all I've been hearing down there is, Leon, we got this one. And I watched a little film on him. I watched some of the scrimmages with him, and the kid's got an arm, he's got a rifle, he can roll out the pocket, stay in the pocket. So we haven't had that kind of versatility at the quarterback position in a very, very, very long time.
By the way, the former Miami quarterback, Tyler Van Dyke, Leon, he's now at Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And, Wisconsin under Phil Longo, offensive coordinator, is running a version of the Mike Leach air raid, except now with Tyler Van Dyke there, and they've changed the name of it. It's no longer like they're running the air raid. They're running the milk raid.
What raid?
The milk raid.
Really?
Wisconsin cows, dairy.
Oh,
yeah.
The milk
Some
raid.
dairy.
Really? Okay.
That may go over as
I
well
guess you
as...
could have called it the curd raid, cheese curd raid, or...
Well, you could come up with something a little more clever than that.
Dairy raid, or...
That may go over as well as the backpack when it came to the turnovers or the trash can. Some of those did not quite work out as well as I think teams were hoping that they would.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Injury Care Centers, the exclusive provider of BioTarget regenerative therapy for pain. Visit GoBioTarget.com for a location near you.
The embedded and shredded back from joint practice today. That kind of That kind of fired you up, didn't it, a little bit?
It's great.
You could look at both fields and see.
Absolutely. I wish I could have seen more of the Jaguar defense.
Yeah.
Because where, most of the action was, they were going at the same time. So we got a really good look at Jaguar offense today.
Right.
Not so much Jaguar defense. But, yeah, it was fun. This is one that as soon as you got the schedule, you kind of circled this state, and it was fantastic.
Yeah,
so.
and the fans, it's so funny because you're right that I went and split fields, and then you'd hear the roar from the fans, and I'm looking left at the Jags D,
right.
And it was the Jags O making plays.
Yeah.
My head was on a swivel at that
Yeah,
point.
absolutely. This is one where you'd like to have a videotape of everything that was happening on the field. But yeah, it was, good work, and they probably will kind of go a little lighter tomorrow, I would think. I don't think they'll be in full pads, but a very well-behaved joint practice.
Yeah,
Not even like a sense of any unrest or
nothing.
The one run that was out of bounds into the Jags sideline at the end, it kind of got just a little bit, but that was it.
That was it. And even then, it was never like any sort of any problem.
All right, so I don't want to be the guy who does this because you do this as well or better than anyone.
Well, thank
pumping
you.
up the young guys.
But
Brian Thomas looked really good out there today.
Yeah, he did. He is.
Are you getting ready to write the book on him as well?
I'm still working on the Trayvon book,
Right.
So but maybe I'll put that one on the back burner. But yeah, Brian Thomas looked good today. We saw it obviously with the big catch against the Chiefs, and good to see that momentum carry through. I had a chance to talk to him after practice, so you'll hear that interview coming up on the Frangie Show. We'll also be joined by Rick Stroud, who covers the Bucs in Tampa Bay. So yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
All right, you guys got it all this afternoon. Crank it out. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hayes Carline, Frank Frangie, JJ, as they will get it going. Did you like all the niceties between these two teams?
I didn't. It disgusted me. Yeah. And then I told JP Shadrick after they did one-on-ones, I saw a lot of handshaking and hugging. I was like, what the hell is going on around here?
Your brother-in-law.
I don't know what they were going on. There was too much love. I mean, listen, hey, this is a new era. This is a new era. And, and I couldn't deal with the handshaking and the hugging after the one-on-ones, man.
All right, we're done. On that note, nothing else needs to be said. Thanks to the Golf Club of Southampton. Don't forget Thursday night trivia, Friday night music on the patio, and you got the Golf Club of Southampton with a 9 after 5 tonight called 287-play. I'll be out there having a big time. Hope to see you. And tomorrow at noon, XL Primetime is on the airways, noon to 2, and then the Frangie Show will follow, and then the Coaches Show after that. So we got plenty coming your way, but we'll be with you at noon, mañana. Joe C., Matt Hayes, Leon Searcy, and RJ. Frangie Show coming up.
Everyone wants to doubt Jacksonville. Never doubt